Billo's short stories. Robot Hunter, Part 2, by William L. Ramseyer. Robert came to the tree every day. He would sit and think and get more depressed and confused. His girlfriend got sicker, but he had no money, no medicine. This particular day, no one sat around the tree. It was the day of the yearly ritual knife fight between the two great gangs in the mall. Now, the old man had a booth about 3 feet high, kind of a little box where he sat with his tickets and money. He kept the money in a dirty cardboard shoebox. That day, Robert, as he sat thinking, watched the old man do something different than usual. He pulled out all the money from the box and put it in an envelope, sealed it, and put the envelope on the counter between two paperweights. Then he sat back and seemed to go to sleep, which was strange because robots, as far as Robert knew, never slept. Robert looked at the glass display case that held gardening tools. Today the door was wide open. Why should a robot have all that money, he thought, when it could be used to help someone? And why should a robot go to sleep when he wasn't supposed to, except as an insult to Robert? So Robert stopped thinking, grabbed a heavy hoe out of the display case. For a moment he was afraid and began thinking again, but it passed. And in a calm rage he walked over to the sleeping robot, arched back the hoe, and pulled it down towards the robot's head. As the tool crashed down, the old man turned his head and flashed Robert a warm smile. Then the hoe smashed through his skull. Robert struck the old man many times, then satisfied that he could never be reconstructed as a witness, he grabbed the envelope and ran. Well, that was a big day for Robot 6. A robot murdered in the Grand Mall. Usually the police never went into the mall. They still don't. Nothing there of interest, no voters or wealthy citizens to protect, but the murdered robot had many influential former students in the state government, and they brought strong pressure to have the robot's killer brought in before one of the gangs found him. 6 was proud of being called in on the case. It was true that the other robot hunters had pressing assignments, but maybe it was also recognition of 6's growing reputation. He hoped so. 6 entered the mall. All around him he could smell, could feel the varied colors and perfumes, the textures of human fear, a living kaleidoscope of everything he had learned about tracking criminals. 6 could sense the hatred behind the false smiles. He made his way to the scene of the crime, tried to talk to the new ticket taker, a 60-year-old woman with dull blonde hair and a bright red face. She was drunk and refused to answer any of his questions. 6 examined the display case. Then he sat down and waited. As humans came in to see the tree, they would glance fearfully at him and look quickly away. 6 had grown used to such behavior. See, 6 didn't feel fear, he could track it, but it didn't make him afraid. A thin Eurasian man bought a ticket and sat down. His face paled when he saw the robot. 6 watched him carefully, then stood up and walked towards him. The man jumped up, walked rapidly towards the exit. 6 followed him. The man sped up. This is the one, thought 6. Oh yes, he could smell that special fear. The man tried to run, stumbled. 6 arrested him and put a pain lock on his wrist. After a few attempts to run away, the man gave up and meekly followed 6 back to the station. 6 ordered 2 robots to search the suspect's cubicle. They found a dying human female, drug paraphernalia, a recently emptied bag of potato chips, and a just finished carton of ice cream, a very expensive item in the mall. The interrogator waited at the station, told Robert to make his 2 phone calls, but he had no one to call. He refused to answer any of the interrogator's questions. I can get a mine warrant in 6 hours, said the interrogator. Meanwhile, you can sit here and wait and be scanned anyway. And I'm not going to be gentle about it if I have to waste my whole evening here. Or you can submit voluntarily to a mind scan and you'll be out of here in 15 minutes. So, ready to answer my questions? Robert nodded. The interrogator put the confession box on the table and wired it to the prisoner's forehead. Put on his own headphones, started the machine. The green and red digital letters on the box flashed. Six watched the prisoner's face. Robert's expression went through changes that Six recognized from his psychology textbooks. Love, hunger, hatred, rage, fear, and something that Six had never seen. A disgusting smell filled the room. Something like fear, but different. The interrogator finished, took the headset off of Robert, then slumped limply in his desk chair and stared without expression at the wall. The prisoner smiled. He had a calm, peaceful look. "It's not over, is it?" asked Six. "Yeah, it's over," said the interrogator. "You promised to let me participate." "Believe me, you don't want to. But you promised. I thought a robot's word was its treasure." "All right, fine. You can listen to a tape. It's not as strong as the original, but you'll get the idea." The interrogator got up slowly. "You should get your batteries checked," said Six. "You seem a little run down." The interrogator made a vague noise, put the headset on Six, rewound the tape, and then played it. Six's chrome face began flashing the same expressions he had seen on the prisoners. Then his face froze, expressionless. "Still want to be an interrogator?" Six said nothing, did nothing. The interrogator took off the headset and set it down. "He'll recover," said the interrogator to himself. "We robots always do. Anyway, Six, I guess you finally got to see the black light. You would have seen it eventually. We all do. See, using fear is different than understanding it. When you understand what humans feel..." The interrogator shook his head briefly and violently. "You can feel everything that man there feels," he pointed at Robert. "But you can't forget, and you can't kill yourself. And even living is nothing because you don't choose to do it. And there's not even courage in facing pain because there's no courage where there's no choice. You're stuck forever in your robot body, a sponge that never gets clean, only older, dirtier. It drives some robots crazy, but they get repaired. They come out of it. They keep doing their job. They're good citizens. Still want to be a good citizen, Six?" "I love robots," said Robert, smiling. "You know, you humans really make me sick," said the interrogator. "But robots can't throw up either." "Well, boys, what do you think of my story?" said the robot. "Kind of irritates me," said one man. "Those things you said about humans." "Hey, ain't you an interrogator yourself?" "Yeah, you're the interrogator in that story." "No, human scum. I'm Robot Six. And stop being afraid of me. It makes me sick. Stop it or else. Humans stink." He wagged a chrome finger. "Give me another pack of those zircons. Wait, make that 2 packs." The end.